Hello, how's it going? Today we're going to be doing another Reef tank ramble slash update. I'm going to be going over a little bit of my maintenance and just kind of what's going on. Adding a little bit of Phosgar to the tank. I'm noticing a lot of green hair algae is growing, so I'm going to go ahead and add some Phosgar, get rid of that old Phos Bond bag. Now I do rinse it in tap water. It's a lot easier than tank water, than salt water, and to be honest, it doesn't really harm the tank as much as you may think. A little bit of water in the tank isn't going to hurt. Now, throughout this video, I did get a couple new corals. They are super tiny, and one of them is extremely in bad shape. It's real damaged. It's missing about half the head. It's all dead. I didn't really notice until it was too late. But enough of that for now. Let's go ahead and get this old bag of Phos Bond out and this new bag of Phosguard in. They look way different. One is supposed to be the Phos Bond, I'm pretty sure, is iron, and this one is aluminum, or they both are aluminum. I'm not too sure. Either way, they help get rid of all the phosphate, and they will get rid of my green hair algae problem, which is becoming prevalent again. It must be because of the phosphate. I'm not too sure what else it could be. I turned down the lights and I lost my acropora, so I'm not going to do that again. I'm just going to try and combat it with this Phosguard. Now what you're going to see me doing now is moving corals all around the tank. I'm really trying to separate them all and get them all organized, make everything look nice. So everything you see on the rock all alone to the left right now, my hand is, that is all hammer corals. Everything in the middle is frog spawn, and of course my goniopora and the torch coral. So everything's a little separated, looking a little nicer, looking really full now that I've glued everything to the rocks. And overall, it's doing really well. I did try and move a couple corals around. I'm not too sure where to put my frog spawn. It's got 3 heads. I have it on the right corner of the tank. I move it there a little bit later in the clip, but I'm not too sure where to put it. It's not too happy there. The torch coral was a little happier in the middle of the rock. And I'm wondering if I should get a new wave maker, mess with the flow. I really like the no filter run. I ran no filter for a couple of days, and I personally really like that flow, and it made me want to get a little bit less flow. So you can see the new coral floating in the top of the bag. That is the damaged coral. And then if you look in the bottom left corner of the tank, you can see the very tiny hammer coral. You may be thinking, that's not very tiny. It's very tiny. There is a second little baby head on it, and that second little baby head is maybe half the size of a pencil eraser. It's about the size of a pencil eraser now. It's really extended. It's doing well. But overall, it's just a very, very tiny coral. So now I'm just going to top off the water before I start messing with the coral. Here's a little bit of a closer look through the bag. And as you can see, there's nothing there. I'm going to be putting it right there. Let's go ahead and get a little dip going. I use Coral RX for the dip. Now, I did do the dip off camera. I made a little short out of it. I was a little rough with the coral, so it wasn't too happy in the end of the day. But I got it dipped, I got all the pests off, and I got it in the tank. Now, we're just going to go ahead and wait a little bit. And in the meantime, let's get a closer look at this other coral. You can see that it has the tiniest little baby on it ever, which makes it my new favorite coral. The fact that I got 2 in 1, and it's unique, it's small. I got it for $25. Obviously, it's going to be my new favorite. I find a new favorite every time I buy a new coral, because every new coral is awesome, even if it's not as cool as the last. Now, this is the new coral that I got. You can see it's missing about half the head. It's all dead. The other half is struggling, to say the least. It was a little more open in the LFS, and I'm hoping it opens up a little bit more. But so far, I'm not too sure. I do see it extending a little bit more around the base when I take a closer look at it. But other than that, I'm not too confident in the overall health of it. I might have bitten off a little more than I could chew. But we'll see. All the other corals are doing nice. You could see this hammer coral. Even though it had a crack down the base of it, it's still doing well. It split a whole new head. This Acan Lord has about 8 new heads surrounding it. I'm not too sure if I should move it, if it's going to become invasive. This Duncan coral, all the heads are getting larger on it. It has that nice ring of life. That's what I'll go ahead and call it. And as far as everything else, I just need to figure out better places to move stuff. Everything on the left side of the tank is doing well, other than the new coral. Everything on the right side of the tank is struggling, and I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. But the overall health is decent to where I know they're not going to die. They'll be okay. I just would like a little bit more from them, especially seeing all the other corals in the tank so open. But unfortunately, the torch coral is going to have to stay over there. I'm not going to risk stinging any other corals at all. I love all my corals way too much. And I spent way too much money on all my corals. They're all collectors. Most of them I haven't seen in my local fish shop since I bought them. So I would be pretty hurt to see any of them go. Other than maybe the Duncan coral, but still, that's my most grown coral out of all of them. Getting into the tank is doing well. You can see I'm eating off the algae clip. And I'm thinking of adding other livestock to the tank. Now, a couple things that I'm looking for are wrasses. I'm really favoring either a fairy wrasse or a carpenter's wrasse. I'm looking at designer clownfish, maybe the cool ones. I'm looking for maybe some snowflake or those all orange long fins. Those are awesome clownfish. And then the last fish that I'm really looking into is a mandarin dragonet, or any of the dragonet species. Although a lot of people online say that you can't keep them in a 30-gallon tank, my pod population is booming. You look anywhere and they're there. I don't think it would be too much of an issue, but I'm still scared at the end of the day. If anybody has any recommendations on what fish to add, clownfish, wrasses, gobies, damsels, angelfish, anything at all, recommend it, and I will probably buy it and put it in this tank. It's about that time to look for fish again after my little ick mishap, and I'm very excited for that. I'm also going to be coming out with a bunch of other videos. I have them all scripted out and written. I just need to edit them and film a little bit more. So if you want to see more of that, go ahead and subscribe. I got a new channel logo, which I'm very fond of. Thank you to the person who made it for me. And without further ado, have a great rest of your day, and I hope that all of your tank issues subside.